Hey everybody, and welcome to a video on the basics of Notability within a file, most specifically with regard to the layout within a Notability file. So let's go ahead and open up Notability, and let's open up a random file. So this is some quiz review for a math quiz, and now we are in the beginning of this Notability file. So in the upper right hand corner of your screen, you see a couple of pages on top of one another. So I'm going to press there, and what this does is it gives you kind of an overview and layout of your file, and you can scroll up or down and see all of the different pages, and there's some features that I'd like to show you about right now. So one of them is the ability to insert a new page within your Notability file. Perhaps you want to do an extra math example, but you don't have space on the page. So for instance, right now I'm on page 2. If you click on any page, it'll take you there. So I'm on page 4, and I want to add a page. I'm going to click on this blue plus button in the upper left-hand corner, and I can either add a page above page 4 or below page 4. So I'm going to add a page above. So to be between pages 3 and 4. Well, now it's the old page 4 is now the new page 5. And so on this new page that I just made, we can draw or we can type or what have you. Another option you have is in the lower left-hand corner of that page, you have this X button, which not surprisingly will allow you to delete that page. And so now it's gone. Another option you have is to rearrange the order of the pages within your Notability file. And to do that, you are simply going to press and hold, for instance, on page 4. And when you do that, it kind of pops out of the screen. And when you would like, you just drag it up or down in between whatever pages you would like. So suppose I'd like to move this between pages, 1 and 2, and I make this the new page 2, I let go, and there it is. Another great feature of this layout view on the right, as I like to call it, is the ability to bookmark pages. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of each of these mini pages on the right, you see something that looks kind of like a bookmark. And if you press on that little bookmark, it will bookmark the page. If you press again, it will unbookmark it. So suppose I bookmark pages 1, 4, 5, and 7. And if you look on the top of this layout view, we've got what looks like 3 white pages, a yellow sticky, the red bookmark, and the magnifying glass. Right now, the white pages are highlighted, and that means you're looking at all the pages in your Notability file. But suppose you'd like to look back on only the pages that you've bookmarked. Well, if you click on the bookmark, now it will show you only those pages on which you've made a bookmark. Look, nothing else. Of all the other pages, none of them are there. If you want to see them all again, you can go ahead and press on these 3 white pages, and now you're looking at all the pages in your Notability file. And now suppose that you went through and maybe you did some highlighting, and we're going to cover highlighting later, but suppose you did some highlighting on this page, and you did some highlighting or annotating on another page. Maybe you drew a graph, or on some other page you drew an equation, whatever it may be. Suppose you did some annotations on some pages and not others. This yellow sticky allows you to display only the pages on which you made annotations. So I'm going to click on the yellow sticky, and it says Notes. And so you can see that there are only 3 pages displayed here. The first is the page on which I did some highlighting. The second is the page on which I made a graph. And the third is the page on which I made an equation. So a really great way to filter your notes for only the ones you'd like. Maybe the ones that are bookmarked, or maybe the ones on which you made some notes. All right, back to all pages. One other great feature is this magnifying lens allows you to search your document for whatever it may be. So if it's a long article and you want to look for keywords, this is a great way to find them. The last thing I want to show you before we actually start drawing and highlighting and typing is the ability to set your background on a page. Now this is really going to apply only when we make a new page or a new Notability file. So I'm going to create a new Notability file right now, and on the upper right you see this wrench, and this wrench has the option called paper, and here you can decide what the background of your Notability file is going to be. And note that you can have it with lines. You can see it in the background, and you can have those lines very thin or wider or wider or wider. And especially for math and science teachers, you can make a grid in the background. And that grid can be rather small, it can be larger, larger, and yet larger. And note that you can also change the color of the background. White is your default background color, but you can also do a yellow or a blue or a green or what have you. And you can always choose to have it just a plain green by choosing this option right here. Or you can choose lined or graph paper if you'd like.